And how long? Oh, I'm sorry.
5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 7? Oh, yes.
It is an absolutely beautiful June day. It's about 11:45 in the morning. I pull up in my big old truck at Torrey Pines Glider Port. Now, of course, the first thing I did in the morning was to check the weather report. Forget social media. What's important is, what are the winds going to be at Torrey Pines? Because I'm going to fly today. Of course, I've also looked at the website 3 or 4 different times. I've seen them start to warm up. People are going to fly. It is 74 degrees, 9 miles an hour, straight west. Perfect flying conditions. Skies are blue. Marine layer has rolled back out, so it's about 5 miles offshore. It's perfect. I pull up the flight bag, put it over my shoulder, hike up the hill. There's the tribe, my brothers and sisters, flying and BSing to beat the band. What do we talk about? The weather, the flight. What kind of gear you got today? The usual. There's also a crowd of, shall we call them, marks, who are going to be money extracted to pay for the whole operation. Not my problem. They're behind the red line. I get to go to the pilot space. Drop my bag. You look left, you look right. Tandems are up. They've got about 100 feet over base. That is a good day. Already looking superior. Say hello to a couple people, make some eye contact, I shake out my wing. Now, at this point, because of the conditions, I spread the wing out in this direction in a semicircle. I bring the harness back, ocean's behind me. I'm going to launch in a reverse because when the wing goes up, it's going to surge forward. I've got to be ready for that. It turns out to be a lot easier to run forward than it is to run backwards. If it's a forward launch, I'd be facing the water and having everything spread out behind me, but that means hard work because I got to run to make up for the missing wind. But it's a nice day, so we're going to do a reverse. Everything's lined up, I gear up. Now I begin a mental checklist. Unlike an airplane where I would have a paper checklist and be looking at things, I've got to remember all this. I don't have anywhere to put a checklist, nor would it be a good idea. I need to know that I am wearing an airplane and I am about to run off a cliff that is 340 feet high. Not jump, run off a cliff. So the process of putting the gear on is ritualized. What's snapped? What's clicked? Is everything in a good place? Are my lines clear? Is my wing laid out properly? I want to launch once and be ready to fly. Not only is this safer, but you get brownie points. You don't want to look like an amateur. You want to look good. 2 lines on my hands, holding the brakes, lift it up just enough to catch the wind. Whoom! Surges up above me. I now have 32 square meters of bright orange Skyman wing over my head, perfectly aligned. Nothing hanging, everything looks good. Don't really spare the time to look up because I can feel the lines. If it's tugging over here, something's wrong. If it's tugging over here, something's twisted. Everything looks good. Do what's called a surge. So I lay back and I turn around. Now I'm facing the water. Wings above me. My body is in constant motion because I've got to balance this thing, not let it get too far off to the side, not let it get too far back and forward, but it's all automatic. I've done this thousands of times at this point. So I'm leaning into the harness, kind of up on my tippy toes, and I begin a very Zen-like state. I need to be here 100%. It's not time to think about what groceries I might pick out. Do I have the garbage out for pickup? No, you need to be right here, right now. There's wings flying by. There's other people prepping, including the tandems who all have priority because they have another human being strapped to them. Also, they're grouchy. So you want them off on their own doing their thing. Everything looks pretty good. I'm going to have to go around one guy who's launching. Looks good. Lean into the harness. Start down. Not quite running, but I'm not walking either. I'm laying into it faster, faster. 10, 15 feet before the edge of the cliff, I start to lift off. And it basically shoots me straight up, 50, 60 feet above base. Base being the top of the cliff, 340 feet below me, the beach, Black Beach, in the Pacific Ocean. Boom, beautiful takeoff. I say, launching north. Let everybody know, I'm going to make a right-hand turn. Boom. At no other point will I communicate. There's no ground communication. Everybody who's up flying is going to be looking, making sure that everybody else is obeying the rules. Up, up, up. I'm now over what's called the north face. Best lift in the area. I'm flying along. I can look down into the Pacific. I see surfers. I see a seal. Oh, there's a shark. I can also see 50, 60 feet into the water at times. It's beautiful. It's quiet. The only air is moving through the shroud lines in the wing. I hear nothing but myself. I'm flying. I look over here, just off my right wing. There is a red-tailed hawk in the same lift, doing the same thing I am. It's my bird brother. He looks at me. He moves one wingtip feather and makes a turn. I'm like, yeah, show off. So I start my big sweepy turn. I'm still in lift. Things are looking good. I'm going to land this glider. I come into the approach pattern. Now I have to look at everything that's going on. There's people moving around on the ground. There's wings that are coming up. There's people about to fly. I come in way back, 100 feet high. Start to adjust. Do a couple of S-turns, get my altitude down. I slide down. If I do it right, that's how much effort I put into it. Drag the brakes all the way down, flip around, boom, put the wing down. Free flight at Torrey Pines. Thank